Okay, family. This is Cassandra Floyd, also known as daughter of the Fates, founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. And I am here today, an hour late, because I went to the beach today to do the reading of Pure Lust by Mary Daly. This book, child. This book had me beside myself last night. And we're, I'd say, still a little shy of halfway through the book. So we still got about 2.5 readings, Asia, 2.5 weeks left in the book. Baby, this book. So we're gonna get started. I even gonna be labor the inevitable. Every time we crack the spine open on this joint right here, somebody getting punched in the jaw, somebody getting punched in the gut, somebody getting kicked in the chest, you feel me? This book is like a spanking. Somebody said last night, she read me tonight. Listen, this book is reading all of us. It's been on my brain all day today. This section that we read last night, man. It's been on my spirit, on my brain, fucking with all my feelings. Greetings, facts don't care about your feelings. Listen, I'm not joking, you guys. This section we read last night got me in my feelings. It's got me in my feelings. Feel me? That shit last night, man. And then today, let me just give y'all a word real quick. So today, I woke up this morning and every time, so when I get like YouTube, like messages or whatever, greetings, Letitia. Thank you again for last night. Last night was a really, really dope interview. This got me hyped. This got me on. I'm like, damn, who else can I interview? What else can I talk to people about? And anyway, whenever I get comments on my videos on YouTube, I have like a habit or ritual. What I will do is I will, read the comment, and then I'll usually rewatch the video, skim through it, because if somebody makes a comment, I want to revisit. Oh, cool, Carlotte. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked the interview. I thought it was dope. It was fun. So anyway, I rewatched this video this morning that somebody had commented on. I will encourage you guys to rewatch it over the next day or so, because I've been going back and watching these videos because I I don't hate to say, I'm a fucking genius. Feel me? No hesitation, no slow-mo in the shit. Bitch, I'm a genius. I earned that shit. However, I also recognize, especially in moments where I am wide the fuck open and the mother is screaming through me. You understand? So I go back and watch these videos to continually get fed by her. And baby, the video was the mother's curse, or was it it was called The Mother's Curse, I want to say. That video on The Mother's Curse has got a picture of Kali as the thumbnail. I forgot. It was, as a matter of fact, it was just a couple weeks after I'd gotten back home from this ordeal with my mother when I left in February. Greetings, Mo Will. I'm gonna post your comment, Mo Will. She said, "You went through that quick, sis. You went through that quick. You was listening every day because you went through that quick. That playlist is long." But anyway, baby, that mother's curse piece, y'all got to revisit that, especially in lieu of what is happening in the Middle East. Y'all got to go. Y'all got to go back and watch the mother's curse piece that I did. I think it was maybe March or April. Y'all got to go back and watch it. Y'all got to go back and listen to that piece, especially greetings, Sharita. Especially in light of, I watched this documentary. I told my homegirl about it today. I watched it. It's not a documentary. There's this cute little woman I like on YouTube who does. I'll have to tell y'all later what her name is because I just found her yesterday. But her whole channel is about these little exposés that she does on cults, on like crooked leaders, on companies. I love it. Okay, that's what you call dedication, Mo Will. Mo Will said, look, I sped it up to 1.75 and I did listen to it all day. I couldn't turn it off. I love it. I'm here for it. So anyway, this little expose that she did yesterday was on the company Shein. Ooh, Letitia, you talking about the cult of I am? That shit was crazy too. But anyway, so this one was on the company Shein. I know y'all have seen it everywhere. The company is called Shein. Shein. This girl does an expose on Shein. Now I'm gonna just tell you about me. And this has been ongoing for a little over a decade. So first of all, I don't tell y'all no, I'm telling y'all, I will never tell y'all some shit to do that I don't do. I don't do that. I will not counsel you to do some shit I don't do or have not done. When I tell you to go on to slaveryfootprint.org and take the survey and share with us what the results were, it is not something that I have not done and I ain't told y'all about. I'm thinking my shit relatively clean, you feel me? And they're like, nah, bitch, you are below average. So in that respect, yeah, you good. But nigga, it takes 25 people on this planet somewhere to work free every day to support your life. 25 motherfucking people. Go take the survey at slaveryfootprint.org so you can see your shit. The only way you can clean up your shit is to see your shit. Go back and watch this damn video on my mother's curse. I listened to that shit today beside myself. Because I just watched yesterday, all accidental. I'd never seen this chick before. This damn expose on Shein. So like I said, I've been very deliberate in my jewelry business and everything, trying to be extremely conscious and cautious of where and what I buy from what company. And so it don't take a genius and it don't take a rocket science. If you getting a whole host of shit for $20, bitch, somebody is working for free. If you getting a dress for $3, motherfucker, somebody is working for free to produce that dress. Fast fashion is tied to the enslavement or near enslavement of somebody else. I do not shop, and my intuition didn't have to be sharp for me to know that this company Temu that be selling you shit for $2, $3, $4, $5. Somebody's life is tied to that dollar amount. Somebody's ability or inability to feed their children is tied to this dollar amount. Somebody's enslavement is tied to this dollar amount. So I don't shop. I do not, will not ever shop. I don't have to know nothing about these companies to know that shit is fucked up. Something is suspect about that shit. Ain't no place, nowhere on earth that's doing good, upright, upstanding business, selling no motherfucking full-length dress, evening gowns for $20 and shit. Motherfucking beautiful little dresses and shit. You understand? For $4. I do not shop like that. Will never. You do not have to be a student. You don't have to be the genius that I am to know good goddamn well that somebody's misery is tied to that shit. So this girl do this whole, and so I knew that shit was fucked up. I knew that Shein was fucked up. I knew that Temu was fucked up. I knew that Roseway, I knew that shit was fucked up. All this shit, this fast fashion shit, I knew it was fucked up. Baby, I did not know the gravity. I did not know the extent, could not have imagined the extent. First of all, I like this chick. I'm gonna find out who she is, because like I said, I wasn't even gonna talk about it. But it's just on me because of this video of mine that came up this morning. But baby, this shit had me sick. It had me sick. It had me sick to my stomach. It enraged me so much, because what we have a terrible habit of doing, and it started a long time ago. It really became most personified in that period where we started that fucking Reaganomics bullshit. We started watching these shows like Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous and all of this shit. Poor people have always glorified the wealthy. Have always been okay with that which with the wealthy get away with because they're wealthy, right? Like somehow the rules don't apply to them. Maybe this girl did this damn expose on Shein yesterday. This shit fucked me all the way up. It really did. Because we cannot imagine, we cannot even begin to equate these diabolical, wretched humans with people like Hitler, with people like Churchill, with people like, what's his name? What's that motherfucker name in Belt? King Leopold. With people like, Jim Jones. We do not, and cannot equate these diabolical, insane, megalomaniacal, gluttonous, fucking monstrous human beings to obviously monstrous human beings. We can see Churchill, Leopold, Hitler, and so on, 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 and so on. We can see them clear as day. But you can't see this motherfucker who is the founder of Shein the same way. Like, it don't even compute that this motherfucker, who ain't even 40, y'all, this motherfucker ain't even 40 yet. And he's been on some diabolical shit for years. He ain't even 40 yet. He is exploiting the genocide. I think they're called the Uyghurs. He is exploiting the genocide of the Uyghurs to cut costs, because the Uyghurs are being forced right now today to work cotton plantations for as far as the eye can see for free, 12 to 16 hours a day, every day. You understand? So he won't get his cotton from anywhere but the place that he can get the cotton from motherfuckers who are where the cotton is free, where he paying for the cotton, but they ain't got no overhead because they making these people work for free. Straight up, real live slavery. Like real live slavery. They are literally working in cotton fields by the thousands in China for fucking free. For free. But as if that was not bad enough, because it is, the people who are getting paid in the factories in China, in Britain, and in the United States, and in other places, the people who are getting paid 3 cents, 3 cents an hour. Child, 2 days off a month, 12-hour shifts a day. They making 3 cents an hour. This motherfucker is the third wealthiest billionaire in China. He ain't even 40 yet. And the reason why is because, unlike fashion of the past, he ain't gotta rent no buildings nowhere. His marketing budget is minuscule. All he gotta do is get some motherfucking 15 to 25-year-old influencers, send them a bunch of shit in a box, pay them some coins to have them go ham about the awesomeness of Shin. 3 cents. The list of crimes were endless. This girl's expose was an hour and 56 minutes long, and all she was doing was these are the facts. This ain't sus. This is not what we suspect. This shit has been documented. This shit we haven't been able to prove either way. The list was endless of the crimes perpetrated by this company. And the problem is this Chinese man could not have become a billionaire without a market centered in the United States and in the West. This gluttony is fucking contagious. So while you can look at this motherfucker and call his ass a genocidal fucking megalomaniac, which is exactly what he is, in his mind, he's just a good capitalist. Because as long as there's a demand, he can create the supply at everybody's expense, baby. Oh my God, that shit hurt my spirit so much because I knew the shit was diabolical. It wasn't no shit I had to think about. Like, no, that ain't no shit. Every time I see the ads, delete. Every time they send me little shit, delete. No, man, you don't have me out here consciously participating in the exploitation of other human beings, man. I already feel sick about the damn slaveryfootprint.org saying, like, motherfucker, yeah, you well below the average, but still 25 people got to work for free somewhere for you to sustain your life. Oh my God. And we want this ain't the shit we want to face, baby. These young people getting shipped boxes of $600 worth of motherfucking free goods, clothes and shit. And then on top of that, for however many followers they got, they getting a couple of $1,000s, you feel me, to promote and market this product. We participate. And that's the shit don't nobody want to. I'm telling you, go back and watch that damn video on the mother's curse. We are all locked in, man. We are all responsible for the way the world looks. This bullshit that we continue to do, to point fingers at obvious criminals as a way to absolve ourselves from our individual personal responsibility for how the fucking world looks, man. This shit is inescapable. And while this system exists the way that it does, that we all locked in. We all locked in. Every goddamn motherfucking single one of us is locked in, but there ain't nobody exempt from the shit. Ain't nobody exempt from this shit. Man, that shit fucked me up so bad, man. Seeing these women, man, how the fuck is it 2023 and here we are, knowing that slavery never went anywhere. It was radically transformed. That women and children are the primary victims of slavery everywhere, the face of the world. Over goddamn. This shit had me beside myself yesterday, baby. Man, this shit had me beside myself yesterday. How people in this motherfucking country. I saw this documentary about rose quartz and how the majority of rose quartz in the West, a majority of rose quartz comes from Madagascar. And to see the conditions of the children, the women, and the men working to mine these quartz out of the earth, to see their living conditions, how babies cannot go to school past the 5th grade because if the kids do not work, people will not eat. The families can't eat. They ain't even making $3 a day, but you convinced. Oh my God, you are convinced that your rose quartz is doing something to heal your heart. No, the fuck it's not. No, the fuck it's not. No, the fuck it's not. Your rose quartz that's mass produced and come in cute little heart shapes and shit, that shit is not healing your heart. I guarantee you it's not. Because some child or some woman or some man's blood is all over it. It's so fucking crazy to me. It's so insane to me. Especially in these so-called conscious circles. Especially in these so-called healing circles. It fucking blows my mind how detached the majority of the people running around in sacred circles and doing sacred ceremony and shit are detached, completely detached from the suffering of others. This shit is gross as fuck, y'all. It's so disgusting. It's so gross. A homegirl of mine lives in Italy. White girl. She did a post yesterday. She said, I find it so, there's some white folks out there without teaching them a motherfucking thing can take the right position. She said, it's so fucking weird to me. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, why is it so difficult for y'all to see that some of the shit y'all do is nothing but cultural appropriation? You can dress it up how you want to. It's cultural appropriation. And at the juncture that indigenous people from around the world keep saying, don't do that shit, and you do it, now it's a crime. That's what she said. Baby, all her white friends was going slap the fuck off on her. Slap off. Well, I mean, if the music is truly healing, then why would somebody have a problem with us sharing the music? Or what else she said is like, don't y'all find it weird for y'all to be singing sacred songs, indigenous people sacred songs and ceremony? Y'all don't find that weird? It's just a white girl. She said, y'all don't find that weird? That's weird to me. She said, why y'all singing them people's songs? Listen. Now, if I would have said that, I'm the asshole. But the white girl said, child, her white friends went slap the fuck off. They raided her motherfucking comment section. Well, I mean, we want the healing too. Well, I mean, the whole thing is to be able to share the music with the world. She's like, not if it means you making money off somebody else's music, somebody else's ancestral music, traditional music, and you become the center. Just the white girl going off. She was like, I am really disappointed by some of the comments that I'm seeing in this section. From people I swore were conscious, from people I swore was on the right side of the question, she was going off. I said, come on, go in. Come on, go, girl. And I'm telling y'all that story because this shit is rank. It is disgusting. It's so gross. It's gross. And I don't know what this means for the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means because I'm not interested in none of that dumbass shit. None of that gross, malignant, bypassing. Ayahuasca is going to save the world. Shut the entire fuck up. I mean that. Shut the entire fuck up. I had somebody tell me that. I'm talking about serious, deep, political, historical issues. And she's like, well, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I ain't never did no political work in my whole motherfucking life. I hear what you're saying, but honestly, I've seen people really transformed in ceremony with ayahuasca, with Mama Ayahuasca. And if we could just find a way to get everybody in the world to take ayahuasca, I'm certain it would change the world. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. And all things sacred, child. And all things sacred. I don't know what the fuck we want to do, y'all. I don't know. But between these Westerners who are using what did Monica Jue say? What did Barbara Moore say in this book? Let me go ahead and read that for y'all. I'm still gonna read Pure Lust, I promise. But I'm on one today because this has got me. Oh Lord, shall have mercy. What she saying? She said there's a reason that the people of the third world do not trust y'all. Don't trust y'all. Do not trust spiritual people. Do not trust Christians. Do not trust none of y'all fronting on some spiritual shit. Oh, here we go. She said, just as Western biblical, this is from the Great Cosmic Mother Rediscovering the Religion of the Earth. Because I'm trying to put y'all back on game. This shit got me in my motherfucking head. Just as Western biblical spirituality has served to rationalize imperialism, it is simultaneously served to stifle political criticism and activity against imperialism. Y'all ain't heard the word. It has been spiritual to colonize, to brutalize, and to plunder, but not spiritual to talk about it. I.e., spirituality has long. Tell me this don't sound like the right shit. She say, if just as Western biblical spirituality has served to rationalize imperialism, it has at the same time served to stifle political criticism and activity against imperialism. It has been spiritual to colonize, spiritual to brutalize, spiritual to plunder, but not spiritual to talk about it. Listen, spirituality has long been reified into an upper and middle class euphemistic process in which it is considered not polite to discuss the origins of one's wealth. Oh no, it ain't polite to discuss one's wealth. The origins of wealth, of course, are always very bloody, i.e., not nice. In the name of refined sensibility, aka spirituality, aka abstractness, the pursuit of bloody truth is discouraged. The paradigm for this class evasion, y'all ain't here, man, goddamn it. The paradigm for this class evasion of the blood origins of wealth lies in the patriarchal evasion of the blood origins of life itself. Come the fuck through right now. You hear what I'm telling y'all? Listen to what she say. The paradigm for this class evasion of the blood origins of wealth lies in the original patriarchal evasion of the blood origins of life itself. Patriarchy shamelessly colonizes, exploits, and brutalizes the female body, and then censors open discussion and criticism of this process in the name of decency and polite society and civilized discord and the like. In both cases, the pretense of spirit is used to cover up the very fact of blood. And so, in all parts of the world that have been ravaged by the Western Christian imperialist experience, spirituality has a well deserved reputation as an emblem of total hypocrisy. This reputation continues. This book was written in 87. This reputation continues into some new age and counterculture attempts at spirituality. This shit ain't new. This book was written 50 fucking years ago. 40 years ago. 40 years ago, this book was written. She's like, these new age motherfuckers ain't shit either. If Christianity in its class evasionist tactics ain't shit, these new age religions ain't shit neither. These counterculture traditions ain't shit neither. If they cannot face the blood origins of wealth, if they cannot face the equal blood origins of life and the blood that gave birth to this monstrous bitch as we know it. Here she say this reputation continues into the new age and some counterculture attempts at spirituality. In particular, many activists undergoing political burnout have made a 180-degree turn to immerse them. Isn't that what they always talk about out here? We want to invite you to an immersive experience in spirituality. Listen, you can't make this shit up, okay? These motherfuckers who burnt out on politics want to immerse themselves in apolitical spiritual pursuits, thus reinforcing the euphemistic patriarchal tradition that spirit is above politics. Y'all ain't listening to the word up in here. The left hand shouldn't know what the right hand is doing. Profit 6 days a week and go to church on Sunday. All being psychological devices to allow people to listen. All of this shit being psychological devices that allow people to enjoy the fruits of patriarchal profit systems while avoiding responsibility for their sanguine roots. Is this not what I was just talking about with these people buying all this shit? They know somebody is suffering tonight. They know somebody is not getting paid the value of the value of their labor to produce, and you do it anyway. You buy it anyway. You say this shit allows you the psychological devices that you need to enjoy the fruits of patriarchal profit systems while avoiding responsibility for their sanguine roots. They all mean don't look too closely at the origins of your wealth, including the wealth of spiritual privilege. For it is true that all spiritual exercise in the Western world is performed on a cushion of wealth. What? All. She didn't say some. All spiritual exercise in the Western world is performed on a cushion of wealth. If not one's own personal wealth, then the wealth of one's surrounding culture. And this wealth has been accumulated at the entire world's expense. For Westerners to leave politics and submerge themselves in apolitical or trans-political spiritual disciplines may or may not serve personal needs and goals on the global level, but it is merely a continuance of the patriarchal imperialist trick of spiritualizing one's wealth and privilege by not looking too closely at their bloody roots. Moreover, this disappearing trick is a lie. Politics is in and of the world, and nobody leaves this world. Spiritual people leave politics only in the same way that rich people leave poverty, i.e., by being able to afford to fly off to some other place where they won't have to look at it. But poverty, like politics, is in and of the contemporary world because most people on earth live in poverty and in politics not by choice, but by brute force. They have become ontological conditions for the entire globe. Nobody escapes them. Some people have the illusion of escaping them for more or less prolonged periods of time. Anyway, that's all I want to say about that. That's all I want to say about that. Baby. Anyway. Lord, 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 Lord. Okay? Anyway. I ain't mean to go off on like, but you know what? Whatever. Go watch, go rewatch the Mother's Curse, the live that I did on the Mother's Curse. Because that between that and this expose this girl did on the truth behind the company she in yesterday, just had me in a place, man. It had me in a place. Had me in a place. So anyway, so I will take a deep breath. I know it was a it was a detour from our normal thing, but I'm gonna read still from Pure Lust. Pure Lust. Pure Lust. Pure Lust. Anyway. So today, for those of you who have your book, which is awesome, several of you have said, "Yeah, I got my book. I got my book." The section we're on page 206. We're the second paragraph down in the section called Potted Passions. The Sado Society also produces and reproduces what I shall call potted passions. Potted means preserved in a closed pot, jar, or can. It means planted or grown in a pot. I like y'all so much. Facts don't care about your feelings. Now, Mary about to get us right together again tonight, okay? I don't know if I'm ready yet, child. I don't know if I'm ready either. All right? Listen. She said it means planted or grown in a pot. It also means made easily comprehensible or superficially attractive by abridgment or glamorization. Canned. Ooh. All of these definitions throw light on the potted passions, for these are preserved, mummified, enclosed, abridged, and thus made superficially attractive and glamorized. That is, they are stunted, artificially contained. In a word, they are canned. Consequently, they are twisted and warped versions of genuine passions. Like the 9-inch high potted bonsai tree that could have grown to be up to 80 feet tall, these passions are dwarfed. Their roots are shallow. Moreover, since they are contorted and distorted, they bend in unnatural directions, stopping at the wrong objects. Potted passions, then, are feelings that fragment and distort the psyche, masking passion, making pyronostic lust incomprehensible. Thus, it is the cockocratic state women are. Thus, in the cockocratic state, women are intimidated, tracked, and trained. Oh my God, trained to love, desire, and rejoice in the wrong things, hate, have aversion to, and be sad over the wrong things, hope for and despair over the wrong things, fear and dare the wrong things, be angry over the wrong things. God damn. God. Oh my God. Oh. Hey. can't even ease into the shit. She just come through the gate swinging every time. Listen, she say, thus in the cockocratic state, women are intimidated, tracked, trained to love, desire, and rejoice in the wrong things. Let me tell you a story real quick. So I heard the story about this woman who had a friend, right? And the friend was having sex with this dude that she worked with, right? And then she started having sex with another woman, with another person, which was a woman that she worked with. And then the two women who was having sex started to get jealous of each other over the dude that they both were having sex with. Meanwhile, dude married. You feel me? And married dude, so that married dude fucking three women, his wife and two chicks that he having sex with at work. And one of the chicks is like, but you know, I want to keep him. Is there something I can do to keep him? Listen, she say, in the cockocratic state right, Jim, women are intimidated, tracked, and trained, child. Trained. Yes, she came out swinging. Trained to love, desire, and rejoice in the wrong things. Hate, have aversion to, and be sad over the wrong things. Hope for and despair over the wrong things. Fear and dare the wrong things. Be angry over the wrong things. These passions are real in a sense, like the bonsai tree or the canned orange juice, but they are less than they should be and therefore dysfunctional and potentially deadly, like an extremely low blood count or hypothyroidism. They are incomplete and like lies which are partial truths parading as the whole. They are substitutes for genuine emotions, deceiving their subjects and those with whom they are connected and disconnected in this deceptive way. A common example illustrates this point. A woman often is therapeutically directed to express her anger toward her mother for events that transpired several decades ago. When the fact is right, now that the Sado Society's plug uglies and butchers are physically and or psychologically battering her. Oh my God. Oh God. Damn. Oh my God. Listen. God damn. Y'all hear what she just said? She's like, the psychotherapy, these women are taught to play out their rage for their mother, their anger for their mother, as if from childhood, as if that's what really is the issue. To completely ignore the fact that right now you're getting your ass kicked by Sado Society. You're getting your ass kicked by any myriad of motherfuckers who are making your life hell. But in psychotherapy, you got to be focusing on your childhood anger with your mama. Oh my gosh, she said this is 1983, y'all. Oh Lord, she said, a common example illustrates this. A woman often is therapeutically directed to express her anger toward her mother for events that transpired several decades ago, when the fact is right now that the Sado Society's plug uglies and butchers are physically and or psychologically psychically battering her. In some cases, her mother is the man-made target for displaced rage. Man-made target for displaced rage. Even many years after her death and without examination of the social context in which she acted. This canned anger, stunted and molded by the manufacturers of soap operas, great literature, and therapy, prevents the expansion and expression of accurately directed pyromantic rage. Holy, oh my God. God. Damn. Oh my God. Yo. Lotus flower. Yes, baby. Oh shit, y'all. She say this canned anger that you got towards your mom, this displaced rage that you got towards your mom, mm-mm. This canned rage that's been stunted and molded by the manufacturers of soap operas, great literature, and therapy prevents your expansion and expression of accurately directed pyromantic rage. What is pyromantic rage? The whole chapter is about us rediscovering our relationship to the magic of fire. The deflected anger never becomes the full. Holy fuck. God damn. Listen. Oh my God. The deflected anger never becomes the full-blown fury that could move such a woman to understand her own oppression and that of her mother. Ooh. Rather, her displaced, potted, rotted anger functions to perpetuate that oppression by contributing to an atmosphere of horizontal hatred and violence among women, in which blaming the victim is the norm. God damn. Goddamn. Damn. Ooh. Child. Goddamn. Y'all. We ain't even halfway through this book. How our jaws are still attached? How our teeth ain't shook loose? Yes, Lotus Flower, yes. Yes, baby. Listen. God motherfucking damn. Shoo! Media, potters, plotters, part 1, Tootsie. Clearly, the plastic and potted passions serve the purposes of Sado society, preventing emotion, which makes possible women's entrance into power spheres. It is hardly surprising then that the media men work feverishly to promote these pseudo-passions, injecting them regularly in the name of amusement, which amuses women, killing the passionate power of musing muses. Woo! Such onslaught upon women's psyches in the 80s has been extreme, both in overt and in subliminal forms. The film Tootsie, widely praised and viewed by millions in the early 80s, illustrates the phenomenon. It is understandable that men and women have found this film funny. Men, because the last laugh is on women. Women, because the last laugh is on women. Uh-oh. Oh my God. She's about to have me go back and watch this old ass movie. God damn. Because the last laugh is on women. It is an interesting exercise in detection of plastic and potted passions to notice what feelings are elicited in the course of viewing Tootsie. One point that is quite overtly made is simply this. Little Dustin Hoffman, guised as Dorothy. Yeah, I'm about to watch it too. We might have to do a movie review. That movie came out, child, when I was little. I was little. I might have been 5 or 6 years old when that movie came out. One point that is quite overtly made is simply this. Little Dustin Hoffman, disguised as Dorothy, is better at being a woman than any. Holy fuck me to tears. Goddamn. Oh shit. Dustin Hoffman, guised as Dorothy, is better at being a woman than are any of the women in the film. God damn. Child, goddamn. How, mm-mm. They say Dustin Hoffman, dressed as Dorothy, is better at being a woman than any of the women in the film. Near the end of the movie, after his maleness has been disclosed, he tells Julie, I am Dorothy. The message clearly is one of cannibalistic androgynous maleness. Little Dustin, whom Julie had loved but rejected because she believed he was a woman, incorporates the best of womanhood, like Dionysus and Jesus before him. According to the plot, Dustin did not find work as a male actor. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, I got to go back and watch it. Damn. Listen, y'all. According to the plot, Dustin could not find work as a male actor, but when he dressed up as a woman and applied as Dorothy to play a hospital supervisor, he was immediately accepted in preference to the real female candidates for the role/job. Dorothy was an instant success, admired by female soap opera fans for her courage and feminism, for being her own person. Unlike the fans of Dorothy within the plot of the film, the actual viewers of Tootsie are in on the feminist heroine's sexual identity. This means that the movie viewer is invited to swallow the message that a male in drag is better at behaving as a feminist and as a friend than are real women. All of the unmemorable wimpy women in the film illustrate this point. Oh my God. Of course, any thoughtful moviegoer can reflect upon the fact that Dorothy did not have years of feminine conditioning to overcome. Examining the list of plastic passions to which any prude can make her own additions, we see that the real females in the film were held back and to some extent paralyzed by lives filled with these pseudo feelings. Having none of this baggage of patriarchal female conditioning to contend with, Dustin, Dorothy, acted like a woman who has self-respect, except for wearing the absurd drag outfits that fashions require professional women to wear, and that Dustin, of course, enjoyed. Unless the moviegoer's understanding of this setup was very explicit, she came away from Tootsie filled with fresh subliminal injections of plastic feelings. She was dosed up with anxiety, depression, guilt, bitterness, resentment, resignation, frustration over the fact that no real woman in the film, meaning no real woman in the world, could be her own person so easily and with such instant positive acclaim as could Dorothy. The female viewer was also dosed with hostility toward the female fuck-ups in the film and with boredom at their insipidity. Together with Dustin Dorothy, she could hardly help feeling frustration at their lack of authentic anger and their resignation to be mauled over by such lecherous creeps as the actor who played Doctor on the TV show. Moreover, even the female amusement seeker watching Tootsie was able to carry through a clear analysis on the cerebral level of just what the film was doing to her. Tootsie had and has negative power. Since images have a life of their own, a mind massaging capacity that defies reason. Yes, come on through, Letitia. Come on through, Letitia. A big serving of potted passions was also on the menu for Tootsie tasters. Women were invited to admire Dustin Dorothy's daring, which was false because there was no genuine fear to overcome for him. The film was a travesty and ripoff of female friendship, and the lesbian scene in which Dorothy's attempt to kiss Julie was met with Julie's aversion/disgust was a mind twister, where Julie admits with self-loathing and hatred that those lesbian instincts are also in her and is answered by Dustin that those instincts are natural. The audience is supposed to get the message that Julie's attraction to Dorothy is really based on the fact that on some subliminal level she perceives that he is actually male, and that is only heterosexual, and that only heterosexuality is natural. Thus, before they can find free expression, lesbian love, desire, and joy are negated, potted, converted into heterosexist hate, aversion, sorrow concerning lesbian instincts. The false hope for finding a man who incorporates all that is good about women and more is generated, and despair over the possibility of recognition and legitimation of woman love is inculcated. Moreover, the female viewer's anger at this amusing atrocity is mitigated by the knowledge that the whole thing is meant to be harmless entertainment, and that criticism such as the one just presented proves that the critic lacks a sense of humor. She can't take a joke, quote, she can't take a joke / jock. Such potpourri of plastic and potted feelings is a sample of prolific described described in 1984 as, quote, rubbishy entertainment and spurious news which the party handed out to the masses, end quote. The target proles are women. The intended result is prostitution of our passions, vitiation of our virtues, and stealing of our fire. Media plotters, part 2, news reports. In the early vacuous 80s, the decade of archetypal returns, the potters of the time crudely and emphatically enforced the trend of embedding pseudo passions. The theme of women as baby machine was the cover story of the February 22nd, 1982. Oh shit. February 22nd, 1982 issue. In keeping with this extreme paucity of women's faces on the cover of Time magazine, its deliberate erasure of strong, creative women, was its cover photo emphasizing the belly of expected actress Jacqueline Smith. This picture, together with the slick pictures inside of prominently pregnant celebrities in the news story of the new baby bloom, was obviously not news, but rather propaganda intended to function as self-fulfilling prophecy. Fulfillment was crassly peddled in this piece, where the pitch was made for career women over 30 who wonder, is this all there is? Who still wonder, is this all there is? Preying upon frustration and anxiety, the Time men whispered that more and more career women are choosing pregnancy before the clock strikes 12. Wedded to the archetypal baby machine is her alleged opposite, the archetypal whore. The embedding of the same plastic and potted feelings is a necessary strategy for the entrapment of women into both molds. As Kathleen Berry has shown, procurers of prostitutes use love to entrap their victims. Quote, procurers who employ the strategies of befriending or love and romance use both tactics together. They may begin by befriending a forlorn runaway and then calculate a romantic connection. A procurer's goal is to find naive, needy teenage girls or young women, con them into dependency, season them to fear and submission, and turn them out into prostitution, end quote. To play upon the feeling of love is crucial, Berry explains. Quote, affection and love-making are meant to hook a woman, make her dependent emotionally and psychologically. Meanwhile, she is thinking in terms of a mutually developing relationship. End quote. The eliciting of potted love is essential in the making of a whore by a pimp. The archetypal professional. Potted love, festered by the myth of romance, short circuits the power of pure lust. God damn. Oh my God, y'all. Oh my God, y'all. Letitia is screaming. Yes. 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 She said the myth of romance short circuits the power of pure lust. When women trapped in the foreground are still caught in the role of whore, they are infected with the poison of pimps, smothered by potted needs for potted love. The fear that prostitutes feel for their pimps, who commonly beat and rape them, and who sometimes murder them, is real enough. For women whose prostitution or sexual slavery is less visible, more subliminal, fear is often potted, since the objects of realistic fear and the agents of violence are less visible and are denied. The knowledge that is denied to and by women is the knowledge of uncontrollable male violence, physical and psychic, which is omnipresent and can surface at any time. Given the ignorance, which is in part caused by the terror of knowledge itself, aborted terror is often converted into fear of the wrong things, for example, of not finding a husband or of losing an abusive one. It is converted into all of the plastic passions, most notably into anxiety, depression, and resignation. Moreover, it pots the other passions. Sometimes women's passions are so potted that there appears to be an abyss of selflessness. Oh, damn. She said sometimes women's passions are so potted that there appears to be an abyss of selflessness. Oh, where passionate beings should be. This vacuum is illustrated in some of the statements of political wives, such as Nancy Reagan, who vacuously stated in an interview, quote, "Isn't that something, T? Damn, that shit hit. Damn." Um, Quote, "Integrity has always been important to me because I know my husband means what he says and says what he means," end quote. This incapacity for anything other than an indirect, vicarious feeling, this incapacity for anything other than indirect, vicarious feelings, flaunted before women as normal, as American as apple pie, and even ideal, is one of the several plastic options. Another sort of model is Karen Goler Brown, who, unlike the political wives, is ambitious for her own career and can even name herself as subject of some sort of passion. Significantly, Brown has named fear as a motivating force in her life. Quote, "My ambitions are steeped in fear, anxiety. I am afraid the hobgoblins will get me." And again in the same interview, quote, "I told you, fear energizes me. Fear is a part of the challenge of life," end quote. Although Helen Gurley Brown speaks of the challenge of life, her ambitions, her ambitions seem securely fixed in the foreground. Any hag who even casually pursues Cosmopolitan and or Brown's 1982 bestseller Having It All can recognize the all-pervasive plasticity of her views and advice. In contrast to this sort of personal ambition that lacks woman-identified consciousness, but also lacks overt malice towards women, there is the phenomena of Athenic women who view women and nature with rancor and hatred. Phyllis Schlafly excels in this perversion, since she is a stereotypic twice-born Athena who fights for men and apparently loathes women, it is not astonishing that while women's issues have given her fame, defense issues have her heart. The women's issues she defends are, of course, basically uh, undermining female independence and hope. As Adrian Dworkin suggests, she seems to be able to manipulate the fears of women without experiencing them. The defense issues are, of course, the proliferation of nuclear weapons and of military industrial complex. Years ago, Shafley made it known that she would like to be Secretary of Defense, and she has been cited as calling the nuclear bomb a marvelous gift that was given to our country by a wise God. As a sort of female Dr. Strangelove, Schlafly illustrates a consistency of pathology, combining machine-like callousness toward women with the same sort of indifference to all of elemental nature and to all of life, except in fetal form. So I'm going to stop there for the night. And again, I will come back tomorrow night for the continued reading of Pure Lust, Elemental Feminist Philosophy by Mary Daly. Pure Lust, Elemental Feminist Philosophy by Mary Daly. Yes, Letitia. Child, yes, T. Yes, so we're going to pick that up tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Again, my name is Cassandra Floyd, also known as the Daughter of the Fates, founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. And I'm going to try. I don't know. I'm going to really try. To be back tonight at 9:36 p.m. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and take a nap right now because I'm tired. Go ahead and take a nap right now, but I will be back 9:36 Pacific Standard Time for a very strict 1 hour live on how to prepare for the blood moon this week, how to set up your ancestral altar this week, how to consecrate that altar, and that is all. Okay? So 9:36 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tonight, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow for the continued reading of Pure Lust. That being said, I want to say good night to those of you who can't come back on tonight, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.